You know that feeling? You finish a crazy Saturday night shift, you finally get home, look in the mirror, and you swear you've aged an entire week in just one night. If that sounds familiar, well, this explainer is for you. We're going to dive right into the science behind that feeling of burnout.
I really want to start with this quote, because if you take away only one thing, let it be this. That feeling of being totally exhausted, it's not a sign of weakness. It's not you failing. It's a straight up biological mismatch.
I mean, come on, of course you have, right? That deep, down to your bones tired that no amount of sleep seems to actually fix. Let's get into exactly why that happens.
Okay, so first things first, let's just acknowledge what your body is actually going through. This isn't just you feeling tired. No, this is a full body, physical experience, and it is absolutely real.
Just think about a typical shift. You're surfing this huge wave of adrenaline right up until you close. You're probably not eating a real meal. You're ignoring basic things like, going to the bathroom. And then you're driving home when the entire world is sound asleep. And that struggle to wind down when you get home, yeah, that's your nervous system still firing on all cylinders from the rush. It's basically the perfect recipe for feeling completely worn down. And it's not just physical. The emotional side of it is massive. You have to be on for hours, managing all these different personalities, putting out fires, all while feeling totally out of sync with your friends who are on a normal 9 to 5 schedule. You don't just leave that stress at the door when you clock out. You carry it home with you. And that's exactly why you can't just flip a switch and be asleep 2 minutes later. Your brain needs time to process all of that. So, if it's not a flaw in your character, then what in the world is it? Well, the root cause is a head-on collision between your body's ancient programming and the demands of your job.
And this right here, this is the main villain of our story. It's called circadian misalignment. Basically, your body has this internal 24-hour clock that is hardwired to want to be asleep when it's dark and awake when it's light. A late-night shift forces you to live in direct opposition to that primal rhythm.
This is so important to get. Not all sleep is created equal. Getting 7 hours of sleep from, say, 2 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. is not the same as getting 7 hours from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. It's just not. The sleep you get after a night shift is way less efficient. You get less of that deep, restorative REM sleep that your brain and your body are screaming for to repair themselves. And what happens when your sleep schedule is all over the place? Late nights for work, earlier nights on your days off? Well, you put your body through this really bizarre and stressful cycle, and it actually has a name: social jet lag. So here's how it plays out in real life. Early in the week, you're trying to live like a normal person, going to bed at a reasonable hour. Then, bam, Thursday hits and you throw your body into a completely different time zone for the weekend rush. It is literally like flying from Seattle to New York every single Thursday and then flying back every Sunday. Your body is just in this constant state of recovery from mini jet lag. It never gets a chance to stabilize. Okay, so how does this constant battle with your internal clock actually turn into something more serious? Well, this isn't just about feeling sleepy. It has real, measurable effects on your long-term health. And yeah, even on how you look. Now, this is a pretty startling statistic. Research consistently shows that night shift work is linked to about a 36% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome. And that's a whole cluster of issues, things like high blood pressure, high blood sugar, that seriously increase your risk for heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. It's a huge red flag that your body's internal chemistry is way out of whack. All right, but I get it. Long-term risks can feel a little abstract. What about the stuff you actually see in the mirror every single day? Why does this exhaustion feel like it's literally written all over your face? These are the things we're talking about. The dark circles under your eyes that just never seem to go away. The puffiness, that feeling that your skin just isn't as firm as it used to be. Or hey, if you work out, maybe you've noticed you look kinda stringy or smaller, even though you're training hard. And that annoying eye twitch, that's a classic sign of a totally fried nervous system. So here's the key. The stress of the job, the late hours, the bright lights, it all keeps your cortisol, your main stress hormone, jacked up late at night. That's the exact opposite of what's supposed to happen. And high cortisol at night actively blocks deep sleep and stops your muscles from recovering properly. This is the reason you wake up still feeling drained. It's why it starts to physically show. Of course, this whole biological war doesn't hit everyone the same way. There are definitely a few things that can make these effects feel even more intense.
So, as we get older, our bodies just naturally have less of a buffer. Once you're over 40, your deep sleep starts to decrease anyway, collagen production slows down,
And honestly, your ability to bounce back from stress just isn't what it was. A night shift schedule just pours gasoline on that fire, making that physical toll feel so much sharper.
And for anyone with ADHD, there's a whole other layer to this. See, many ADHD brains already have a naturally delayed internal clock, so a night shift schedule doesn't just work with that. It actually pushes it even further off track. This creates this nasty, vicious cycle where you feel perpetually foggy, your focus is shot, and your emotions are all over the place. You're never really rested because your job is basically amplifying your brain's natural tendencies.
And for women, the hit to hormonal health is really significant. Messing with your circadian rhythm can totally throw off the delicate dance of estrogen and progesterone. We're talking irregular cycles, much worse PMS, and for women in perimenopause, it can make symptoms like hot flashes and mood swings way more intense.
Okay, I know that was a lot of heavy stuff, but please hear this because it's the most important part of this entire explainer. You are not doomed. Recovery is 100% possible. If you're still working nights, you can start fighting back. The absolute key is to create a wind-down ritual that is non-negotiable. You have to send a clear signal to your brain that the day is over. So dim the lights, put the phone away, do some light reading or stretching, and maybe take a cool shower to help drop your core body temperature. It's all about building a buffer zone between the chaos of the shift and the calm you need for rest.
But really, the single most powerful thing you can do is change your schedule. The difference is, well, it's night and day, literally. Almost every single aspect of your health and appearance, your skin, your mood, your energy, your muscle recovery, it all dramatically improves when you start working with your body's natural clock instead of against it. And the best part, this isn't some 10-year plan. The body is an amazing thing. It's so resilient. Most people say they feel and look so much better within just 1 to 3 months of switching to a more conventional daytime schedule. So yes, there is absolutely a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's end right where we started. I really want you to walk away from this knowing, deep down, that your exhaustion is valid. It is a physiological response to an environment that's misaligned with your biology. Your body is not the problem here. The schedule is. And just understanding that, that's the first real step to taking your health back.